VCPR Protocols Manager version 1.1 has a number of new features, most importantly, the ability to add any number of treatments to a single protocol. You load the protocol editor by clicking the link on the main page. The editor itself is divided into several sections. At the top, we have the library section, where you would choose an existing protocol template, either from your personal library or the shared library, rather than starting from zero for each new protocol. Beneath that, you can edit the protocol and the various treatments that make up the protocol. And below that, there's a section for instructions, for more general instructions for the protocol as a whole. And finally, at the bottom, there's the prescribe section, where you would either choose a client from a list or add a new client to the list of your list of personal clients. I'm going to go to the shared library and choose an OvSynch protocol that I set up as an example of a multi-treatment protocol. Each protocol should have some kind of name, and you can see that I've been playing with this. I have reused names, which is not a very good thing because I can't tell them apart. So probably want to make a highly informative name for the protocol, your particular protocol, so you can tell it from your other protocols. Below that, we have the 4 treatments that make up this protocol that I set up. And each of these has a collapse button, so we can collapse that information to make it easier to see the whole protocol as a whole. There's also an add another treatment button, which we can keep adding as many treatments as we like to this protocol, or delete treatments that are not needed. At the top, we also have a doctor's note area, which is information which is not going to be printed on the protocol, but you can use for your own purposes in how to use or identify the protocol. And at the bottom, we have the overall milk withhold times, which are simply the maximum of all the withholding times of any of the treatments. Since none of the treatments in this protocol have any withholding times, the overall is also 0. But if, for example, you thought it was necessary to have a 1-day withholding time on artificial breeding of a cow, we could add that to the last treatment, and that would show up in the overall treatment times. Then we have the individual instructions associated with the protocol and the prescribe section at the bottom. I'm going to add a client, I'm going to choose a client that I have already set up, and we have a prescribe button at the bottom. I can choose whether or not to save a copy of this template to the server, and I can choose whether I want to email copies to myself or to the client. Then creating the button adds a new link here which I can click on to download a copy of the protocol in my browser. At the same time, since I checked the box, a copy is being emailed to my personal email account along with this link, which is a permanent link accessible only to the person who prescribed the protocol to get a copy of the PDF file at any time in the future. That's all for now. I'm Jim Ehrlich.